More news coming in on a day of controversial remarks by politicians. There's a shocker coming in this time from Uttar Pradesh. Samajwadi Party MLA from Hamirpur has now blamed women for rapes. What's worse, he made the comment while addressing a women's conference where State Women and Child Development Minister and the State Women's Commission President were also present. Let's listen.
आज कितना दुष्कर्म हो रहा है, पूरे समाज में हाहाकार मचा है, प्रेस मीडिया में तो कोई सरकार ठीक नहीं कर सकता है, कोई सरकार नहीं ठीक कर सकती है जब तक समाज ठीक नहीं होगा। और उसमें कोई कहे कि महिलाओं का दोष कम है तो महिलाओं का दोष कम नहीं, महिलाओं का दोष ज्यादा है। मैं ये देखता हूँ कि सबसे ज्यादा जो धार्मिक महिलाएं हैं, जिसको लोग धर्म मानते हैं, ऐसे लोग जो है सबसे ज्यादा ये घटनाएं घटती हैं। भाई हम देखते हैं महिलाएं जो है बच्चा बिलक रहा है, बेटियां बिलक रही हैं, भाग चली जाती हैं देवी देवताओं के चक्कर में।
Let's go straight across to headlines. Today's Amir Haq for more on this. Amir, just clarify for us and for the benefit of our viewers precisely what this Samajwadi Party MLA actually said.
Well, Shiv, actually very deplorable, shameful and shocking. This MLA, this Samajwadi Party MLA seems to be suggesting here that women themselves are responsible for the rapes that happened to some of those victims. Well, women are responsible, certain women who involve themselves in religious activities, visit various places of worship. They somehow get to intermingle with men and open themselves to violence like rape. Also, he seems to suggest here that students, that women are responsible for sending in their children for schools. They don't send them for learning there, but to gain scholarships from there. So obviously, this seems to be very clear from here that this Samajwadi Party MLA seems to be clearly tilted in favor of the menfolk, and he can clearly be labelled anti-women here. And he seems to be using the oldest trick that menfolk have used to subdue women by suggesting that women and girls themselves are responsible for the kind of violence or sexual violence in this matter that happened to them.
Really, really shameful. I mean, we heard those words from this shameless MLA of the Samajwadi Party. Not very surprising at one level. I want to bring in Dr. Ranjana Kumari, a well-known voice on women's rights. For more on this, Dr. Ranjana, can you please tell us what you think about this? I mean, this is unending shame. But one of the things that stands out, ma'am, as far as this particular MLA is concerned, is that he doesn't have any nuance. He just goes ahead and says, by their actions, women are more responsible for rape than men.
I think such shameless people, such obnoxious comments are not even worth noticing, but such people should be put behind the bars, because these are the comments which are really should be recognized as misogynistic, as a comment which is really violating the dignity of women. And according to Indian law, these kind of people should be put behind the bar. So his place is in jail and not in politics. And also that he's reflecting the mindset of his own leader, Mr. Mulayam Singh Yadav, who said that, the women are, boys will be boys. And that's what he is talking about. And now this is the kind of comment which really demands that country, if the party is not taking action against, the district administration is responsible for taking suo motu action and registering a case against him and putting him behind the bar. This is what it is, and it doesn't really deserve any comment from people like us.
Is there a mechanism, ma'am? Because, there is an unending stream of, such comments that actually come out from these people. Is it because they are so sure that no action will ever be taken against them, and that's what really empowers them to say these things endlessly?
I think the action has to be taken. The law enforcement is responsibility of the district administration. It is the responsibility of the police of the district where he belongs, because this is a voyeuristic comment, and this comment deserves nothing but jail for him. He deserves to be punished for what he has said, and the local police are responsible for law enforcement. The law of the land says that this is a voyeuristic comment, and this kind of a comment is not going to be allowed to be made in the country. Coming from him, he deserves to be in jail. And if nobody is listening, at least his chief minister should do that. I think that will be befitting the kind of situation that we are living, the women of this country. These are the men who have put our country to shame. These are the men who have put every man of this country to shame, because the country is now getting known globally as a country of rape, as if all our boys and men are rapists. That's not the fact, that's not true, but such men are putting the country to shame. So I think it's time that action should be taken against such men.
Ma'am, one final question, on this, because it's this particular individual, this shameless individual whose name is Shiv Charan Prajapati, apparently an elected MLA of the Samajwadi Party, doesn't deserve to be a politician, but deserves, as you rightly said, to be behind bars. Comes at a time when you've got other leaders. You've got the Chief Minister of Goa, you've got Giriraj Singh, all of these people making, wantonly sexist and offensive, statements that should attract some kind of action. So obviously, if you've got so many people saying it so freely, they're not afraid.
It's time that we should start implementing the law to stop this nonsense. And first, this man should do is go and ask for apology from his mother, his wife, his daughter, and his sister. That's what these men should do.
Let's see what kind of action. We're going to put these questions. Absolutely. We're going to put these questions to parties as well. Dr. Kiran Bedi, senior leader of the BJP, is now with us on the phone line, and we'd like to get her views on this as well as a former senior police officer. Dr. Bedi, you've got a Samajwadi Party MLA mincing no words at all, speaking at a women's conference in Hamirpur in UP, saying by the virtue of their actions, by the things they do, women should take more responsibility for rape than men.
That's exactly the challenge this country as a society is facing. There's a whole generation of these kinds of men who've grown up and are in leadership positions and who are influencing policies, making rules and laws which are hurting Indian society, which are hurting women the most, which is hurting the growth of women the most, their mobility, their realization of potential, because it is these men who are holding women's development back. In fact, I would love to find out from the mother of this man, this is the education he gave to the son of his. I'd love to go back to his school. Is this the education which the school gave? Because after all, they are part of a growth. They're part of a nurturance. Who nurtured them on this belief? After all, if my belief is different, my credit or my belief goes back to my schooling, my parents, my home. Similarly, I want to go back to, because I'm not saying this is the best. What I'm saying is, whatever is my belief is a product of my nurturance. I want to find out if obviously we don't believe in what he's saying. We need to go back to his nurturance to find out what kind of education his father and mother gave him.
Absolutely.
What kind of education did the schooling give? And schooling is mostly in hands of women again.
Absolutely. Dr. Kiran Bedi, thank you for speaking to us. This is a generation of people who currently run policy. It's a terrifying prospect, who still continue to perpetuate these views. And even more scary is just how fearlessly they continue to do it. No fear of any action being taken against them. The BJP, the Samajwadi Party, the Congress, the CPM, the Trinamool, they're all in it together. There is no fear of any action. Which of these parties will step up first to actually sack a minister and institute a police case against him or her? Let's see which party actually steps forward to make that kind of example and rise above the political compulsions of the people and individuals involved.